Hello, happy peoples. Hope you guys are doing great. We've got a once-in-a-lifetime event happening today that we're all getting ready for. The whole family is going to go into town, and we're going to bring you guys with us as honored guests, of course. But this is for my mother. She is retiring from the dental hygiene industry. She's been in that industry for decades. I think she should have retired a long time ago myself, but she felt obligated for a lot of her patients. She's known for just so many years trying to help out the doctors, and so she's felt like she's been obligated there for quite a while, but now I think a lot of it is Dad's cancer diagnosis. I think that was a bit of a jump start for her of, wow, maybe we should reevaluate this stage of our lives. I guess on that note with Dad too, I talked to him earlier. I think we're going to give, or he's going to give you guys a bit of an update on where he's at in his journey. So far things seem to be good news oriented, but he's got some information he's going to share with you guys. Hopefully it'll be good, and I always like to hear comments from you guys too if you guys have any ideas or suggestions and some of your experiences, because this whole cancer thing, it's touched so many people. Like if you're watching this, it's either touched you or someone close to you, more than likely. It's scary, and of course different phases of life and all this. You know, Dad's gone through all the phases of life, and you know, he's raised kids and grandkids, and he's gotten to the retirement age himself. You know, life is fascinating if you think about it. You know, none of us are asked to be born, and we're born, and we all breathe the same air, and we all, you know, can have the sun on our faces, and we live in this world where miracles happen, and then we call them science, but they're really just miracles, you know, that just life itself, and just, you know, putting things in the ground and having them grow, and it just kind of makes you just reevaluate, you know, your purpose. Like, what are you supposed to do and why? And anyway, just for me, just thinking through all those things, and then of course Dad's having conversations with me that I don't want to have, but I know I need to be there for him. He's asking me stuff like, hey, just want to make sure that Mom's taken care of when it's my time to go. I'm like, I don't want to hear that, but I still need to be there for him, right? Asking me stuff like, hey, we need to go over the will, and you know, I know this is a phase of life that Dad's going through that I will eventually go through someday, and you know, my kids need to have the same conversation with me. It doesn't make it easier, right? I mean, your parents are supposed to be with you forever, at least in your mind. I know it's not how it's supposed to work, but that's how I want it to work. But yeah, trying to be there for Mom and Dad during these adjustments and this new phase of life, I think is important. And with that, let's go celebrate Mom's retirement, and then we'll have Dad give an update on where he's at in his cancer journey.
I look like the Michelin Man.
You got Grandma. So what year did you start in dental hygiene?
What year in private practice? In 1976.
Wow. Okay, and you're happy with this retirement? This is a good move?
I am. This is a good move to be home with family and take care of your dad, and do some things that have been neglected around the house. I mean, ask your dad whether I was going to be bored. Your dad said absolutely not. She's the master putter of ever. So I've already got a whole list, an entire sheet full of things I want to get done by the end of this month.
Okay, so you're happy? This is an amazing thing. You're good on this retirement, huh?
I am.
Going to miss working at all?
Am I going to miss working? There's a certain amount of, yes, I'll probably be missing. I miss the interaction, seeing my regular patients, have my favorite patients, you know. And so I'll miss that a little bit.
Okay. Are you going to fill in at all, or is this 100% done?
Oh, I'll fill in if I'm available.
Okay. Priorities, huh?
That's right. Sure, I take care of your dad is priority, and taking care of all the little grandchildren, and giving you guys a little time to go on dates, you know.
We appreciate that.
Yes.
Well, we're excited. Congratulations.
You can spend and share it with Wendy. I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of backstory for me of how I got to come and cross paths, I guess, with Wendy here. I started in 2017 at Dr. Mike Helmbrecht's, and that was my first day. The moment I met Wendy, I knew that she was a wonderful, amazing person. And how she is dressed today, I'm sure, Doug, this is how she goes to bed and wakes up, because even at the office, she is to the T. She's my other bougie half, I always like to joke. And so her nickname at the office, if it's not Wendy, if sometimes the patients don't, remember your names, she's also known as the water pick lady, because Wendy will sell it. And if she has stocks, water pick needs to get her, because she will sell it to all our patients. So I know she will definitely be missed at our office by not our staff, but just our patients in general, because they're going to be like, where is she? Where's the water pick lady? And they'll always refer to her. But she has the biggest heart. I always refer to her as our ball of sunshine. We can have the roughest day, the hardest day, but Wendy is your go-to. She will hype you up. She'll encourage you. She just smiles, and you just know. You feel her radiation of that warmth and that love. And I'm going to miss it tremendously. She has a beautiful family that we all have here, and just everyone here, whether you met her once for 5 minutes or you've known her for decades, you know the kind of person she is. This is the person you want to be, right? And this is, I see how she interacts with her husband, her children, her grandkids. And that's the epitome of what we all should kind of look for in the character, 100%. And so for me, I know, and it's a little bittersweet, but I'm really excited for her to take this time to spend on herself, with her family. If we need you, we're going to call you. I know we She is one. She's a yes person, right? I ask her to move a mountain, and she'll look at me, but she'll move that mountain for me, and I know I can really count on her, and I know Dr. K feels the same about her. I'm sure everyone does too. And so I am truly, really grateful. This is not the end of our relationship. It's just going to continue. She loves my babies like her own grandbabies, which just means so much to me. So I do really appreciate it. This is not our end, and it's only the beginning for many more.
Thank everybody for coming. And anyway, thank you so much for coming. And I'm looking forward to that new season of my life, of being with my husband during this time.
Thank you.
And I'm going to miss all of you. But I'm looking forward to spending more time with my grandchildren as well, and doing some more traveling. I didn't realize that it was going to be a homeschool, but it is kind of a new thing, and I have enjoyed taking care of people, because I love each and every one of you. There's no doubt, and I think you know that I do love you.
Love you. We love you, Wendy.
Just finished up, had an amazing time, and congratulations, Mom. Now, let's go ahead and send you to Mom and Dad's house. All right, made it back to Mom and Dad's house. Successful retirement party, right?
Well, that was a great retirement party. Yeah, when she started bawling and when she was talking to the dentist, I knew that she was enjoying herself.
Yeah,
that was nice. That was a nice send-off. Although she'll sneak back into work once in a while.
Yeah, she will.
But I told her that's okay until her hands start shaking, then she's done.
Let me clean your teeth.
Yeah.
Promised everyone we'd give an update on you. For those of you who don't know, I had some pain in your leg, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have a pain in my leg, and you're like, I've got kidney stones, and I need to get this taken care of. Well, it turned out it was a little bit more serious than that, right?
Yep, prostate cancer, level 5, aggressive, and that was in October. And when we found out, and Bert did another one, I think it was probably in November, sometime. And at that point, we didn't know a lot. I wouldn't say we know everything now, but we're doing a lot better at this point. I started working on a plan of action, and things started moving in a positive direction. My leg pain went away, and the thing is, I don't think a lot of they call it medical practice, and I agree with that. I mean,
They're practicing with you.
When doctors are like setting broken bones, they know exactly what they're doing. But when you're dealing with cancer, a lot of this is just, you don't know what's going to happen. So we, in February, we went down to MD Anderson in Houston and for a second opinion, and I'd been on what they call Lupron, which is a hormone therapy, and also biculotamide. And then I went to the last video I was complaining about. I'm not going to take any $7,000 a month medication, but actually I got that free from Bayer. So one of your viewers,
that's a blessing. So.
One of your viewers sent me a check for $200 for. I was complaining. It was like, here's $200 for your first day of medication, and I got a kick out of that. That was a thoughtful thing to do.
Very nice of you.
Since I got the medication for free, what I did was I talked to my oncologist and I said, where's a good place to donate money? And he said, Interior Alaska Cancer Association.
Yep.
He said, they don't even have any, what do they call it?
Overhead.
Any overhead?
Yeah.
He says their total overhead might be one telephone. He says, so all the money goes to help people with cancer. So I donated that $200 there, and that was well received. And so
backing up though, PSA numbers, right? They're supposed to be like less than 1 or 0.
Right.
When you first went in, you were 94.
I was at 94. Second time we checked, we were at 54.
Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, though, you had taken like the Lupron shot.
The Lupron and the biculotamide, and then when I got on the Nubeqa, I'm not sure. The Nubeqa that's the high-powered.
That's the expensive one, right?
That's the $7,000 a month one. And I don't remember. We took it again, and it was down to 17. Mm-hmm. And then I believe we got down to Houston, and it was down to either 7.5 or 8.
Yep.
And then the last time I went in, it was down to 2.5.
2.5. So you're moving in the right direction. Like, these are all positive things, right?
Those are good things. Yeah, they want it less than 1. So we got to Texas. We went down to Texas in February.
MD Anderson for a second opinion. Because it's nice to have the multitude of counselors, their safety, right?
And they have things we don't have in Fairbanks there. I mean, we don't even have a PET scan in Fairbanks. So we had them do a PET scan, and they did some other CT scans. They did a liver biopsy just to check on that. There's a little bit that's in my liver, but he said it's not a big deal. They did a lot of lab work. MD Anderson that's got to be the most organized. And it's a big place. I mean, when your cancer center has valet parking, that's a pretty big cancer center. These guys are the Dover pros. Oh my goodness. So we got back from there, and then we ran into problems with medication, and somewhere between my and it wasn't for the cancer medication; it was medication for diabetes. I don't think there was any issues with the cancer medication at all.
And that was the struggles you had right before the wedding, right? Where you almost couldn't go.
Just before the Cayman Islands, and I wasn't even sure I could make it.
Yeah.
I had a really bad response to one of the drugs that had been recommended, which wasn't a good one to have anyway. So we got straightened out on that, and just before I left for the Caymans, she was talking about chemo. And I'm not real big. And the MD Anderson doctor had said he didn't really see where chemo would give much of a benefit compared to the reduction in the quality of life. That was interesting. So when she said chemo, I'm going, we better have a little discussion with. That's the good thing about having two different oncologists involved, so you can have.
So your second opinion, you're able to bounce back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is for you. Like if someone's struggling with this and they get two different opinions and there are different opinions, like how do you know what you're supposed to choose? You have one smart person you telling you one thing, another smart person you telling you another. How do you make the right choice in all this?
Get them to talk together. That's what they do here. My oncologist here talks to the doctor at MD so they can discuss it and come to a conclusion. The way when I got back from the Cayman Islands after the wedding and I had my next appointment, she took chemo off the table because the reason she was talking chemo before I left was because a lot of these numbers were out of whack because of this issue with medication.
Okay.
I mean, my sugar numbers were almost at 400. I mean, this was
Right.
crazy
Okay.
because I've always used lightweight medication and exercise and diet, and this was
Okay.
getting out of control. So when I got back from the Caymans, my next blood work, everything looked pretty good. So I think it was all the medication issues that were scaring her. All of a sudden, I'm doing better, and now I'm just waiting to go back in another 10 days.
You're having to do some kind of a transfusion or something for your bones, though, right?
It's an infusion.
Infusion.
They do an infusion once a month to strengthen the bones. My
Okay.
pelvis and the top of my femur were hit pretty hard
Okay.
with cancer, so they do that to strengthen the bones.
Gotcha.
And kind of warn me not to get too crazy on what I'm doing.
Okay.
But so right now I'm stable, but I don't know, and the doctors don't know. You ask the doctors a direct question about how you're doing and how long you have and all that, and all they do is stare at you because they don't know. So you know what? You just get used to our favorite saying is "not today."
Not today. Right now, where you're at, what is, I guess, your biggest concern moving forward here?
My biggest concern is that I get everything in order around this house. People should do that anyways. I watched, my dad didn't really take good care of everything, so my mom had a mess when he died. Of course, we were all there to jump in, but I'd like to have everything in order here.
Okay.
Because I know the day I leave this earth, whether it's 2 years from now or 15 years from now, I want her out of this house the next day, and I don't want her coming back here. And too many memories. So we're going to have it all set so this place just disappears. Send somebody in, have an estate sale, sell everything in here, and then sell the house, and we can make other arrangements for Mom. But we never know. It's like the urologist said when I first got the diagnosis. I kind of asked him. I said, "What am I looking at here?" He goes, "Well, you probably live long enough for something else to get you first." So we don't know. Just part of life. And right now, I feel pretty good. I've got aches and pains here and there, but at 76 years old, guess what? You're going to have aches and pains. So I don't know if any of it even has to do with that. Could just have to do with the fact that I got aches and pains.
So last question for you here, Dad,
Yeah.
before I'd appreciate the update here. But if someone else is struggling, going through maybe something similar to this, do you have any advice for them or any words of encouragement or anything that you can offer?
One of the things I said, I think, in the first video is make sure you've got your spiritual life in order. I think a lot of people play games with that all their life, and they dance around it. And it's like the old, there are no atheists in foxholes. Once you're confronted with your mortality, you got some things to think about.
Yeah.
And, it's one thing to be flippant about not religion per se, but spiritual matters. If you're real flippant about that stuff when you're younger, it's because you're young and you think you'll never die. Well, guess what? You are someday. And those are issues that really people need to deal with. I think it's pretty important. A situation like mine, don't hesitate to use that to talk to some other people about those issues. Give them something to think about so that they can move in a positive direction. I don't want to get in too much detail, but sitting down and reading the Bible is not a bad idea. There's a lot of, I remember one time I was giving a guy some really good advice. He goes, "Geez, that's good advice. Where do you get that?" I said, "Gee whiz, you're not going to believe it." And I got it right out of the Bible.
Right out of the Bible.
What do you know about that? It was probably the best advice I have. The other is just, like I said, don't panic.
Don't panic.
When you hear the C word, take a deep breath and then start to gather information. Gather information, make a game plan. My urologist, apparently he didn't have a sense of humor, because when he said, "I don't know, you might live enough, you're going to probably live long enough for something else to get you first." And I went, "Oh yeah, I guess I could step out in front of a bus tomorrow." And he stared at me. I could tell he didn't have a sense of humor. He looked at me like, "What does that mean?"
Appreciate all your words of wisdom here, Dad.
In there,
you're
folks.
a rock star. You're amazing, and you're definitely an inspiration to me and a lot of people.
So I appreciate that. Keep it up. If you say much more, I'm going to give you a quarter.
Okay, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for coming along, and thanks for giving us an update. And with
You're awesome too, Bert.
all right, you guys are great. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Adios.